So one of the things that I really love doing is changing my mind, and that manifests in the garden in lots of different ways. One is changing the plans all the time, taking opportunities as they present themselves, because things are always going wrong or better than expected. You just need to adapt. And I think it's a really lovely feeling not to be a kind of slave to your plans, but to be flexible enough to change, and also to change your mind and admit when you're wrong. So both of those are going to come up today, actually. So I'm on the allotment for 4 hours, which is my main allotment day. Had a big harvest day yesterday, so I've got loads to get done, so I'll show you around. So one of the nice surprises was that the onions all matured about 3 weeks early. A happy coincidence, almost all of the chili peppers also matured about now, and so I've moved all those outside and moved all of the onions into the mini greenhouse, which is now a drying room for the next few weeks, and it's covered by this net just to keep it a little bit cooler. Doors open, roof fence open. But as a result of that happy early maturing, I've got 2 great big beds that have come free. So this bed was just going to be field beans, planted sort of September, October. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to transplant the leeks that are underplanted underneath these colettes. These are on the shady side, and the ones on the other side are picking up nicely, but I think these ones are going to struggle to get to maturity under the shade of all of these leaves. So I'm going to put, I don't know how many, 40 or so into this bed. I've just dibbed the holes. I've only put them about 6 inches down. Some people put them 9 inches down. I find them really difficult to get out in winter when you plant them so deep, so I'm going to put mine about 6. And I've got all sorts of other goodies that I'm going to put in here, and eventually I will put field beans, I think, at that far end. But I think I can get a crop of turnips and spinach out of this bed before the field beans go in October, and then I'll be able to get the leeks and the field beans and the other goodies, whatever those are going to turn out to be, out of here, all before I put the colettes in here next year in May. So that is just a great opportunity, a whole unexpected cropping opportunity there. So this is my other opportunity. So this also was an onion bed, and I've actually got loads of purple sprouting broccoli ready to be planted, and I was planning to put it in this bean bed, but I think these beans have got about 3 weeks left in them, and so it would be really nice to leave these beans in here and put the purple sprouting broccoli in that other bed, the onion bed, and then use this bed for my first planting of polytunnel, my first planting of allotment lettuces for autumn. And I've got a spare one of these little covers here. This is also purple sprouting broccoli. So I'm going to move that and put it over that onion bed. So I just dug those up with a fork, split them up, and I'm just popping them into these holes. And they're pretty well intact now, these, so I don't mind actually if the compost is firmed around these. So I'm going to water them in and actually firm them in a little bit with the compost, because I think they're quite big now, these plants, and I could chop off some of the leaves, and I think I probably will as well. Just because they do look a rather straggly mess there. So I've trimmed those a bit. I've no idea whether this will actually work. There's a reasonable chance, otherwise I wouldn't be trying it. But opportunities like this are perfect time to do a bit of experimenting. So those aren't looking so bad now, and there's quite a few there. That'd be quite a boon if I actually get those to be full-size leeks. And I'm going to put some radish in, just 1 row of Tokyo Cross, 2 rows of ramrod spring onions, 2 rows of carrots. Really late for carrots now, but baby carrots for salads, just possible. Giant winter spinach for the rest. So as I said, it's really late for carrots, but anyway, we'll see. So I've put this cover over and I'm putting 6 plants in. Honestly, 6 plants is quite close together for this space, but I actually did this last year and I just got smaller plants that still gave me a really good yield, and the benefit of that was they didn't get knocked over by the wind. So yeah, I'll do that. Obviously I'll have to take this off after a while, but for now it's going to provide good protection. I've given all of these holes a really good watering. I'll give them another good watering and then I'll plant tonight. And this bed's all planted up now. Radish, turnips, spring onions, carrots and giant winter. And it's this bed here of giant winter that will go to field beans in October, and then I'll just gradually, progressively work my way along planting field beans along here as all of these come free. Eventually maybe even get some field beans in sort of January, February time after I've harvested these leeks. Right, so this is my last batch of carrots that will grow to maturity this year. So I'm going to put touchon in because I just got touchon seeds spare. They're quite a fast growing one. I always layer the compost, so I put about this much in, water it, this much in, water it, this much in, water it, sort of thing. So it's nice and well saturated all the way through. A little bit of bloodfish and bone, about half a handful in total for each one of these. And the reason I'm doing these so late is because I want them to just manage to grow to maturity by about November time, and I leave them as late as possible because I don't want them to go to seed in spring, because this is the last batch. I've got another one down there. This is the last batch that I'll be harvesting. There's about 4 weeks supply going into these, and these are the ones that are going to feed us through April. And then the ones that are going to feed us in May will be planted in November, and we don't really want those to grow. So we want them to germinate, get to about 1 inch tall, and then just stay like that until February. And then sort of middle of February, beginning of March, they'll start growing, but they'll come to maturity at the beginning of May, just as we're finishing harvesting these. And up until April, these are the carrots that we're going to be harvesting. We've got some more down here and some more in here. We get through quite a lot of carrots. So there's the carrots. So I'll leave them down here on the floor until they've germinated. Keep them nice and moist. That's critical for carrot germination. And then I'll actually just put them up here on the trestle tables at the end here, so they're not shading, in that case, the ginger. In that case I've actually got nothing planted down there, so I can put them up on that trestle table. And trestle table just gives them more light, keeps them away from slugs, and in theory helps a bit with the carrot fly. But it's a bit warm up there right now for germination, so I'm happy with them to be down here in the shade. So I hope you like this quick video. My name's Steve. This is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.